Alright, so ask yourself, when was the last time you did some research on an Android smartwatch and you were so convinced with its features that you went ahead and purchased one? Because for me, I can't remember the last time I did that, and I feel like a lot of you can relate with this. So that brings me to the question, are Android smartwatches really dead in 2021? Let's find out. Okay, so you guys know since about 2014, actually before even the Apple Watch was announced, Android smartwatches were a thing. As always, Android is always kind of ahead to the game, but the thing is they kind of fall short on sustainability and ability to keep themselves relevant on the market. So I did a bit of research to share with you guys, and I started off with something really basic, but trust me, it has some credibility to it. So think about it. What other YouTuber do you watch to get tech advice from? That's not me, of course. The answer is right. It's Marques Brownlee, right? So you watch Marques's videos. All right, let's go to his channel, right? Let's click search and search up smartwatches. And look at the results that just popped up. All the Android ones are 6 or even 7 years old. Look at this Motorola one. It's about 6 years old. But look at the Apple ones. These are 3 months old, 4 months old. These are recent reviews. So that brings me to one inference that I can make. The general tech community, plus even the enthusiast tech community, is no longer a fan of Android smartwatches, which clearly makes sense. Otherwise, Marques would be making videos on it, right? So that's the first point of evidence that I created. The second is Google Trends. If you guys didn't know what this is, it's the easiest way to get stats basically for free. Now, if you go and search up Apple Watch, you can see that since about 2016, or let's say 2017 to about now, there's been a little bit of buzz around Apple Watches. It might have not increased exponentially or anything crazy like that. It's kind of plateaued, to be honest, but there's still been a lot of interest on it, and it hasn't lost interest. At least that's a good thing. Except for 2020, but we can write that year off. Now, if you search up Android smartwatches, this is the result you get. You see that it kind of peaked at about 2017 or 2018 December, and ever since then, it's kind of worked its way down. And yeah, it just doesn't look good of a graph. And as you can see, let me zoom in or actually put a custom range from 2018 to now. That downward slope does not look good. Now, you might be wondering why this is the case, and I think I have a pretty decent idea of why this could be happening. And I want to start off with the first reason being lack of application support. So the way Android smartwatches work is that there's this one big platform called Wear OS, and Google basically lets any other manufacturer kind of license it and use it, I guess. And some of the big names out there include Fossil, TicWatch, Motorola used to be really big. So these guys used Wear OS, right? So they collectively shared one operating system, which in theory sounds really good because now you get to group all the users together and have a bigger community and all that stuff, right? But the problem with this is this created a ton of different models and a different even niche. Like there's hybrid smartwatches, right? Now you might be thinking, isn't that good? Isn't that good that there's a lot of different types of watches that consumers can choose from? Yes and no. So the good is that, well, now you can kind of be unique and style out your wrist, right? But the bad thing is it's hard for app developers because let's say you're developing an app, now you have to decide how do you make it universally available to every single device out there on Wear OS. It's nearly impossible, so it usually makes it a ton of work for the developer, so they end up either picking a few devices that excludes the other devices, making them useless, and it's just a whole bunch of spiderweb messes that you don't want to be a part of, right? The whole infrastructure is just badly designed. And the second thing is, I feel like it's the weirdly niched smartwatches. If you look at Wear OS as a whole platform, you can see that it kind of trickles down into different types of watches, right? There's hybrid watches, and there's Fossil watches, and then there's Tick watches, and then there's watches that have full-on screens on them. There's so many different watches, and it's hard to pick one because none of them are overall good because they're all trying to focus on one specific thing. Now, in comparison to this, if you look at something like an Apple Watch, you'll notice that these watches actually have good in almost every field. If you want health, you have that. You got a blood pressure monitoring system in there. you have the ability to use it as a standalone device on LTE. You can actually mirror your device. And the only downfall that I see from Apple is the fact that it's only supported on iOS devices. While there are smartwatches like the Fossil that I have, which actually works on Android and iOS, but that's theoretically correct while it's not practically correct, because on my iPhone I can kind of get notifications, but I can't open any iOS apps. Even if I get a text from someone, I can't reply through my phone. So in the end, it's not even really universally supported, even though they say it works on iOS as well. It works, but not fully. So it sucks, right? So yeah, just look at those reasons. So I showed you evidence on why I feel like it's going downhill and why it might be even considered dead. And I also showed you why, or told you why, I think it's dying. The app developers are in a bit of a pickle, and two, the niche down watches are just hard for someone to stick with in the long run. People just want something simple and something that works. So yeah, hopefully this kind of answered your question of whether smartwatches are dead or Android smartwatches are dead and why it may be happening. And yeah, hopefully if you were in the market for an Android smartwatch, you are rethinking this purchase. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, comment something, and you know what? Subscribe to the channel as well, because that helps out a lot. And with that being said, this is your boy Tech Alpha signing out. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.